Please be a good game, even though I doubt it's gonna be, that's for sure. Hey guys, how you going? So that BK Sport, we are here for the final game of the day, which is the Melbourne Storm versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs, where the Rabbitohs have never won before in Melbourne. Yes, they have never won in their history in Melbourne. So that tells you it's going to be probably a bit of a blowout. But then again, Storm lost last week, and gee whiz, they had a bad result against the Dolphins. So, I don't know, there's a lot to go over here, but I'm going to run through these two team lineups because the game is about to start. Obviously, we've seen two games today. God bless Australia. God bless New Zealand on ANZAC Day. Happy ANZAC Day to everybody out there. I hope you've had a fantastic day. A lot of people probably drunk and had a few beers, that's for sure, and I hope you won on 2-Up down at the pub. But guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. Let's pump through these two team lineups. The Storm, they come to this game from 3rd position. The Rabbitohs come to this game from 8th position. This is Amy Park in Melbourne. The ins, Lazarus Vaalepu and Nick Meaney, with the outs being Jack Howarth and Tui Kamikamita. Big toss of Vitti man out. Whoa, you don't like to see that. The fullback, a little puppy Ryan Pappenhausen, with the wingers being Xavier Coates and Suala Olvi Farlonga comes into the team. Grant Anderson shifts into the centre with Nick Meaney as well. The 5'8" is Cameron Munster, captain, and the halfback Jerome Hughes. The front row forwards are Stefano Utuikamanu and Josh King. The number 9 is Bronson Garlick. You go to the back row of Sean Bloor and Elias Akatoa, with the 13 being Trent Loiero. Interchange, Tyron Wishart, Alec McDonald, Joe Chan, and Lazarus Vaalepu, with the 18th minute replacement being Kane Bradley and the coach Craig Bellamy. They're still doing the ANZAC ceremony, so I've got a bit of time here to do this Rabbitohs team. Bailey Bentley-Hape and Jaden Sullivan are in, with the outs being Cody Walker and Lachlan Hubner. The fullback is Latrell Mitchin, and the captain, I really disagree putting him into the fullback, but sure. The wings are Bailey Bentley-Hape and Isaiah Tass. Centres Jack Whiten and Campbell Graham. The 5'8" is Jai Gray, who shifts from the 14, not the 1, into the 6, but technically he was the 1 until last week, into the 5'8". The halfback is Jaden Sullivan. The props are Sean Kepi and Tavita Tutola, with the number 9 Peter Mamuzelas. The back row is Keon Kolomatangi and Ewan Aiken, the 13 Jai Arrow. Interchange, Saliva Havili, Davin Mawali, Talis Duncan and Lewis Dodd. The 18th man replacement is Liam LeBlanc, and Wayne Bennett is the coach. I'm tipping the Storm here. I think it's as simple as that. However, I will say I can understand why people want to go with the upset, because there are so many more upsets this year than favourites winning. The Warriors are favourites, and for some reason, technically the Roosters were favourites in that game, even though I disagree that they should have been going into that one. But then again, they proved why they were, but again, they shouldn't have been based off of a lot of factors. But so many Broncos were massive underdogs last night against the Dogs. So look, it's an underdog season. Sure, the Rabbitohs could do it based off of that, but based off of history, I just don't know if I can back the Rabbitohs here. I'm not going to back the Rabbitohs. I'm tipping the Storm to win. But they did also struggle against the Dolphins last week. Now, very quickly in regards to the ladder, if the Storm win this game, they're on 10 points. The Warriors are also on 12 points after their win. It just hasn't updated yet. So the Storm would go up to 12 points. They would be in 2nd position because they've got a plus 70 points differential, whilst the Warriors are about +2 or something like that after the last game. So the Storm would be in 2nd, and they would not be able to finish below that for the rest of the weekend, because the Raiders are on +46. They would have to have a massive win and expect the Storm to not win by much if they thought that they were going to go into 2nd. So yeah, if they win, they will be 2nd by the end of the weekend. If they lose this game, however, they will go below the Warriors into 4th position. They will go below... Not necessarily the Raiders. So the Raiders, they play against the Dolphins on Sunday. If the Raiders win, they would go above them, so they'd go to 5th. The Sharks are on +41, depending on how much the Storm were to lose by. The Sharks could jump them too. They're on +41. Storm are on +70. The Sharks play against the Tigers on Sunday. The Dragons lost. They were hopeless. And obviously, the Rabbitohs are on 8, which would actually, if the Rabbitohs won this game, they would go equal with the Storm, but their points differential is -36. So they'd have to win by a good, 60 points to have that switcheroo, and I don't even know if that's enough there. So that's pretty much what the Storm will happen. So I'll probably put them in maybe 6th. I would tip the Raiders against the Dolphins. That's a close game, actually. I could tip the Dolphins. I don't know yet. But I would at least... They would be at least 5th, because I do have the Sharks to beat the Tigers on Sunday. And then in the opposite side with the Rabbitohs, if they were to win this game, they would go to equal 10 with the Raiders and the Storm. So they'd be in the top 4 for now, but the Sharks still to play as well, but they probably would finish about 5th or 6th, to be completely honest with you, because the Dragons have already played. Yeah, they'd probably finish themselves in about 5th or 6th. Their points differential is the worst of the lot by a decent margin too, to be fair. The ceremony's still going. This is a bit of a long ceremony here down in Melbourne. But then if they lose this game, they would go... So the Dragons... They aren't below them yet. No, the Dragons are on -8. So the Rabbitohs are equal with the Dragons, the Sharks, the Cowboys, as well. But the Cowboys play the Titans tomorrow. If the Rabbitohs lose by over 6 points, the Cowboys are -42. The Rabbitohs today will go into 9th position. And it just depends on how the Cowboys, how much they lose to the Titans by tomorrow. The Dolphins, they have a +28. So if the Dolphins win, they'd go above the Rabbitohs. Manly have +20. If the Manly win, they'd go above the Rabbitohs. West Tigers, if they beat the Sharks, they would go above the Rabbitohs as well with the +12. And then it would come down to the Titans as well, who have -36, which is the exact same as the Rabbitohs. If they were to win, they would go above the Rabbitohs. But then again, the Cowboys and Titans are just below them there, so only one of those two teams could go above them. But no matter what, they would go below them. So the point is that they'll probably finish in 11th or 12th and start dropping down again. That's how close that middle of the table is. So that's kind of how the start is shaping up here, guys. So let us know your thoughts in regards to today's game. Who's tipping the upset and who's not tipping the upset and going the more realistic option here of the Melbourne Storm bouncing back after a very poor result last week. Guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Let's get to the chat. Let's get to the chat, and hopefully this is a better game than the last 2 games that we've watched where it's been 2 blowouts. Or the first 3 games of the round, actually. Bulldogs-Broncos was a blowout, but that was a fun one to watch because it was a crazy surprise. The Dragons-Roosters was pretty awful, and the Warriors-Knights was not the most fun game to watch because Newcastle-Knights games are not fun to watch. Skunkle says, Trent Loiero first try scorer. That is the most random try scorer that you possibly could have thought of. I'm not going to go Trent Loiero, to be fair, but I'll go on the same wavelength of you, and I'm going to say that Glenn Lazarus himself will score a try here. That's probably the same amount of likelihood that Trent Loiero scores the first try. I also know, and remember, Skunkle, that you have bet on Trent Loiero to score a first try in multiple games this season. Why is there a big support of Trent Loiero? What's the big support of Trent Loiero to score? This guy doesn't score much. Why are you desperate? What's happening here? Why do you keep betting on Trent Loiero to score first try, Sam? David says, Kyle Watangi first try. Damn, you got Rabbitohs to score first. Interesting. Jace, is that one happy guy on the thumbnail? Are you talking about Jaden Sullivan? Jace, it's like rocking up to school highs balls on photography day. I think you're talking about Jaden Sullivan. Yeah. What's happening with Big Nelson? I have no idea, man. If there's a Storm fan in the chat who watches your team, you know, except for last week, then what's happening with Big Nelson right now? I actually don't know. Isha says, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Melbourne sheds if Storm lose this game. If Storm lose this game, there is significant problems. It's also raining, so the weather is not great in Melbourne. That's actually insane to see that stat. Rabbitohs have never defeated Melbourne in Melbourne through 19 games. That's insane. The $51 is too juicy. That is very juicy, but there's also a reason it's $51, Mr. Samuel. Jared Farmoney says, congrats, guys. He survived the last game. Now time for a possible pumping by Melbourne and South. Yeah, last game was not fantastic, but it wasn't necessarily the Warriors. It was more so the Knights. The Knights are just a punish to watch, mate. They are a punish to watch this year. They are going back to that mid-2000s form. Mid-2010s form, sorry. When they won those 3 spoons in a row and they were the worst team that ever existed. They are kind of going back to that. I don't think they're as bad as they were then. Attacking-wise, yes. Defensively, not so much. Defensively, they're not as bad as they were back then. Back then, geez, they were the punishing days. But the Rabbitohs will kick this ball off. It'll be the Storm starting off with it. Munster, they spread it quickly. Really oddly, and then Utukamanu taking down the 15. David says, how to beat the Storm. 1 kick, 2-point penalties, first points to go up 2-0. 2, let the Storm score the next 16 points. Sure, we can base the entire history on the first 1 game last week. You know, if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. David says, thanks for that, Surf. Geez, that was a while back. What did Surf say? Surf says, Nass and Warbrick are having concussion recovery problems. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Surf. Noah says, Knights for the spoon. Right this very second, power rankings-wise, yes. Right this very second, yes. So fifth tackle now for the Storm, just behind the 50, and Jerome Hughes will whack this one down into the corner, where it will be Bailey Bentley Hape. I don't recognise him yet. Oh, his second game in first grade, apparently. But yeah, I would say that the Eels have enough upside with Moses back in the team with how well he played last week against the Tigers. That was just against the Tigers. I think the Roosters are better. I do think, well, Titans beat them 26-6. The Roosters haven't beaten them yet. But the Roosters are better than them, and the Panthers are better than them. So right now, I've got them pretty clearly as a spoon in this round specifically, 8 rounds down. Right? Because I can change my mind next week. I can change my mind in 3 weeks' time. But right this very second, yeah, it's the Knights. It just says, in 2016, Knights lost all their games except for 1 win and 1 draw. And that 1 win, I think, came across the Tigers. I think it was against the Tigers when they were both battling to avoid the spoon. And the Knights would always win the spoon. So Swilla will be far longer. We'll get the ball here to the 25. This is his first game that we've seen him in a while. He's usually just like a bit of a backup option, which is really unbelievable depth backup option to have. Obviously, they'd like to use him in fullback, but Little Mum and the Puppy Ryan Pappenhausen is there. But he is on the wing. Surely most of the Muppets came across from the G. What was the games today in the AFL? Oh, it would have been Collingwood Essendon, eh? Collingwood Essendon, yeah? I'm going to go have a look. I do fully expect Melbourne to pump him here. Fit tackle here. AFL. Yeah, Collingwood pumped him, damn. Collingwood pumped him. Geez, that Melbourne-Richmond game was a punish last night too. So the Rabbitohs will actually... No, they've knocked the ball on, so it's going to be Storm ball here at the 10. It'll be Storm ball here at the 10. On free on Adelaide just started. AFL never used to have 3 games on ANZAC Day. There's a lot of things the AFL copy from rugby league, man. For example, Magic Round. The list goes on. So 10 metres out, Melbourne, 3 minutes into the game, will have an opportunity to score. I thought 2016 was the year Tigers missed finals because the Knights beat them in the last round. No, that was the Raiders who beat the Tigers. Trust me, as a Titans fan, I know because we were the ones who had to rely on the Tigers to lose to get into the 8, which we did. But no, it was the Tigers versus the Raiders at Leichhardt, and they got beaten by about 50. David says, does AFL have their version of Roosters versus Dragons on ANZAC Day? Yes, Collingwood and Essendon. So Cameron Munster gives it out to Fa'alongo inside. He steps and 5 metres away from the line. No, you got to go back here. I would nearly penalise Fa'alongo for that. Like, he's not going to get penalised, but I think he should get penalised for that. A sellout. Oh, okay, Fox League. Yeah, they're talking about sellout. I can see plenty of seats, but I would also argue that because of the rain, maybe a lot of people have bought tickets, they just haven't turned up. So out to the right-hand side to Utuakamanu, and he's 3 metres away from the line. Third tackle. Only 4 minutes into the game here. Garlic, short play, knock on by the Storm. No! Knock on by the Rabbitohs, they're saying, maybe. What? There was no 6 again. It was either a knock on or a touch by a Rabbitoh. What? That doesn't make any sense. A fit tackle for the Storm, fit then out. That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make scientific sense, champion. That doesn't make astronomical, psychological, scientific sense how there's nothing that was called there from the referee. It's either a knock-on from the Rabbitohs or a knock-on from the Storm. And it's like, it should have been then 6 again from the Rabbitohs, 6 again for the Storm because of the knock-on from the Rabbitohs, or it should have been Rabbitohs ball. What on earth did I just watch? Ewan Aiken with a good run to the 35. Daz has blood in his alcohol system again. It's a sad time there for Daz. Like, obviously he's having a really rough season after last night. You got to really sympathise with him. Really sympathise. So Mumbles gets the offload away. Third tackle. Sean Cabot. It's actually a really good set here for the Rabbitohs. I tell you what, Justin Sundo, I know he's getting excited right now because he can see the Rabbitohs making some good meters in the middle. He's starting to feel it. He's starting to think about it. He's starting to dream. Sando's starting to dream that an upset could be on the cards. I don't think it's even close to possible. And that right there is not going to give you a great deal of belief. But the ball bounces back inside, and that gets to my friend is a knock-on. That's a knock-on. Early days, Sunday. Mate, when you're going for the upset, you've got to celebrate the early days. You've got to celebrate whenever you can celebrate. And right now is the only time you can celebrate. Again, I would love to see the Rabbits win. I've never seen it before in Melbourne. Quite literally. It's never happened. Ferraz kicks him out at KFC, yes. Alright, so second tackle now for the Storm at the 42. It was a promising set, though, from South Sydney. It was, score might help. Oh, no, Jay. I blame you. That one is your fault, actually. Yep. That is definitely your fault. That one. Deary me. Deary me. That is a 1,000,000% Jay's fault. He did actually forget it. He had toothbrush. No toothbrushes allowed in KFC. Sam is in here too. Yeah, it is also Sam's fault. It's a duo action. It's always the duet. The duet, Skunkle Hayes out to the right for the Storm. They kick it down to far long over the corner. Dropout coming up. Dropout coming up. Jay, you don't have to ask me twice to blame Skunkle. Very happy to do that. Very happy to do that. Always happy. So dropout coming up from the Rabbitohs to the Storm. Jerome Hughes with that big pass across. And who's the 4? Is that Grant Anderson? No, it's Nick Meaney. Because Grant Anderson, has he been centre recently this year? I think he's mainly still been wing. He's probably on the phone to Terry Jag. Yeah, Jag or Eliza, one of the two, all playing well with Jag and Eliza. So Xavier Coates will be taken down to the 20. I'd probably make a bet at that one. I think he's probably playing well with Eliza and also Jag. So, first tackle here for the Storm at the 15. Sorry, second tackle. Jerome Hughes, Elias Katoa. Elias Katoa, 4 metres away, third tackle. Good to see Meaney back from that jaw injury. Yep. Yeah, Meaney's good to be back. Has been pretty poor defensively, though, when he has been there, like last year. Storm, give away an intercept. The Rabbitohs are away. Rabbitohs are away. Rabbitohs are away. Intercept. Oh, but taken down to the 25. It was also a 6 again for the Storm, but the intercept came at the perfect time for the Rabbitohs. But I'm surprised that they don't call that then a no advantage penalty. They sometimes do and they sometimes don't. Rabbitohs are on here, Sundo. I'm going to get you excited, mate, because I want to see the moment your heart breaks, that when you realise that the Rabbitohs just don't win in Melbourne. I want to see. I really, really want to see the moment. I'd like to take a video footage of the moment the heart breaks when you realise the Rabbitohs never win in Melbourne. So Trelt, he will... That's way too heavy of a kick. Way too heavy of a kick. That was an awful kick from Latrell. It feels like they haven't called a no advantage penalty all season. Yeah, I'm really confused. Maybe like a couple of times. I don't know, but it's really confusing. See, Peter Mamazelis is really feeling this right now. Yeah, he is really feeling it. He is struggling. I hope he's alright, man. That's rough to see. Let's fix this one. There we go, like that. Oh, dude, I'm so hungry, man. I could smash a tikka masala right now. I could smash it. Second tackle here at the 40. 10 minutes gone here in the first half, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. I just was mixed between... Hold on. I've got to pop my ears. When I wear these for too long, I have to pop them. But left hand side of the Storm. They cut back and taking out the 44 tackle. Dude, your ears get like messed up when you wear headphones for this long. I believe in sport curses, and this is one. As a Cubs fan, I can tell you right now that sport curses are real. It took a lot of apologising and financial, requirements and everything for the Cubs to win in 2016. Sunday says, I tip the Rabbits mainly because in my odds-based tipping comp, they are paying like $4.50, and the guy coming first is a Storm fan, so I can get some points back, hopefully. No, I agree, and like I said, the way the season's gone so far, man, there are so many upsets that are happening that you may as well. You may as well, because every single human being is going to tip the Storm, so it makes a lot more sense to tip the Rabbitohs on that odds-based system, because like the Storm, $1.20? So it's like you get the tip right, but a very small percentage or whatever. I don't really know how it works. But if you get the tip right for the Rabbitohs, it's massive. But it's not much of a drop-off if the Storm win and you don't get the tip right. Smash a tikka masala with that cheesy butter naan. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. It's odd seeing a Roosters fan tip the Rabbits, but props to you. It is odd seeing a Roosters fan tip the Rabbits. Maybe he's turning heel, like John Cena. Maybe he is. So the Storm now will get this ball out to the 25. And the first 11 minutes here have suggested that the Rabbitohs might be up for it. I really do worry about the Storm at the moment, man. They haven't done... Like, when they beat the Warriors, sure, they won by a lot. But they've been really disappointing for a bit now, especially with that Dragons game and then that Dolphins game last week. I can't believe I didn't tip the Roosters when they were paying $11. Will never forgive myself. Yeah, that is a weird one as a Roosters fan. It made sense at the time, but also as a Roosters fan, you may as well. South's to every Roosters fan's second team. All right, so they whacked that ball into the corner. Do you have anything to say to that, Sundo? Do you agree that South's are every Roosters fan's second team? David says, no, we all know Justin is in a serious hole right now and trying to chase his way out of trouble. Justin doesn't really gamble that much anymore, man. Justin's not a massive gambler. The only gambling he does is whether he's going to be, which country he goes to next, because this guy's a serial traveller like me. He's just always travelling, this bloke. He was just in buddy Canada, then he went to Vegas, and then he's in buddy Timbuktu, mate. This guy just doesn't stop. He just doesn't stop. He's on the Gold Coast 24/7. He doesn't live on the Gold Coast. He's a serial traveller, this Sundo guy. I was in Vegas for 1 week and only gambled one day. But that's because you work at a casino, so you know how it works, and you know you shouldn't be gambling. You know how easy it is to lose everything because you work in a casino. Jared Farman says Storm like to stack up the points and then coast when they know they're winning anyways, which is weird to see. And Bellamy's hating it. Bellamy wouldn't like it, yeah, for sure. Go to South Sydney Roosters. That is a mad statement. Second tackle now for the Storm. Jerome Hughes to Pappenhausen, then to Munster. Munster to Grant Anderson. He'll get this ball to the 53rd tackle. Nothing's really happened in this game so far. It is raining a little bit, which is slowing it down. I actually have to run to the bathroom when there's a try scored. I need to use that as a quick runaway method. Jerome Hughes, Alex Katoa, out to the right side, far along at the 30, 25, the 20, back on the inside, after little Malaman, little Papi, little Malaman, little Papi. Little Malaman, little Papi, little Malaman, little Papi, little Malaman, little Papi. Track time to the Storm, track time to the Storm. 4-0 to Kit to come. They score right underneath the post. Right underneath the post. It is 4-0 with a kick to come. That was just too easy. Fa'alongo breaks away, and then when he cut back onto the inside with that step, he just had an easy little one on the puppy who nearly dropped the ball, but he did catch it and gets it in. Yeah, exactly right, Jared Famoni. Good point. I'm back in a second, guys. Thumbs up, subscribe. They're going to get the conversion. It's going to be 6-0 any moment now. 14 minutes in. It's underneath the post. So give me 1 second here, guys. I'll be back in a moment. Keep talking in the chat. I'll be honest. Like I don't think I've done a 3-game slate in a while. It's actually I remember how tiring it is now. Like it takes it out of you. 3 straight games actually takes it out of you. Doing the streams, but we're back. They did get the kick, so 6-0 to the Melbourne Storm after 15 minutes. David says, make no mistake, chat. Blaze is only happy because it means he can go to the loo. To be fair, like I could just go. I just don't like to miss tries. I don't want to like miss it for 2 seconds. And that's the thing with streaming, right? Is that when you guys aren't streaming, you can kind of go, oh, it's a knock on there with the Storm. Rabbitohs ball here at the 30. It's 25 to the 20. All right, 0 tackle, and South to get a great opportunity right after points were scored against them. The worst thing possible for the Storm there. But it's like when you're not streaming, you have the ability to look at your phone. You have the ability, you're not really talking, you're typing and whatnot. You can go to the bathroom if you want to go get something to eat and whatnot. When you're doing this, you kind of can't. So that's why 3 games is like a lot. But I love the sport so much, and I love what we do here so much, so I do it. So 0, first tackle now. It's a 6 again for the Rabbitohs. Yeah, it has been a pretty mid. Oh, are you talking about the Super Coach? I was going to say the games this week have been pretty mid though so far. Career try number 69 for Pap. Nice. That's a little mullet man, little puppy for you, mate. That's a little mullet man, little puppy. Little mullet man, little puppy. So third tackle here for the Rabbitohs. They're 3 metres away. Mumbles Ellis out to the left. Right all over the Rabbitohs. How'd that pass work out to Jack Whiten? It's back. It's backwards. It's going to be a try to Jack Whiten. Well done. How'd that try even happen? How did that try even happen? Justin Sundo, get crazy for your tip. So, yeah, the knock-on from Utukamanu immediately after a try scored. I don't know how this ball came out the back here from Kolomatangi. Sullivan, Jai Gray, Kolomatangi, he's just like flicked it back like this. Nice pass. Nice pass. So, try time there for the Rabbitohs, and it's a nice flick pass from Kolomatangi. It was hard to even see what he was doing. I thought he kind of like lost it, but like backwards, and then it ended up in Whiten's hands. So yeah, he just flicks it behind the no-looker. The no-looker. Brocky Sports, great pass. Great pass, son. Great pass. Oh, I just realised your membership ran out. Yeah, it gets you. It gets you. And it says, hello everyone. Hope everyone is going well. Yeah, well, we're not Eels fans, so it's going all right, to be fair. It is going all right. But I am also a Titans fan, so it's not going too well. Not going too well at all. But no, the games this weekend, unfortunately, haven't exactly been the most exciting. This one is looking okay at the moment. Trell will hit the post and in. So it is 6-6 from the sideline. Really good kick. I am good with the bye. Well, kind of, because the Roosters won, so you're still in second last now. You would have liked the Dragons to win. Your last hope remains with the Panthers losing tomorrow. If the Panthers lose, they're last and you're second last. If the Panthers win, then you're back into last. Of course, when my internet comes back, I miss the Whiten try. Yeah, well, I know the feeling over here when I'm connected to the power. That's I've been having to use my phone internet all day. How much internet do I have left now after today? Down to 12.87. I've gone through like 15 gigs. Am I the only one who thinks Stefano is highly overrated? I'm saying it at the Tigers. I've never really rated Stefano Utukamanu, man. I couldn't believe that he made New South Wales. And they didn't even use him. I never really rated Utukamanu at any stage. I didn't see what other people were saying. David says, I don't understand why Whiten doesn't like playing at 6. He's a great 5'8". I think it was a decent enough 5'8" at Canberra, but also I don't think that he doesn't like it. I just think that he didn't want to play. He knew he was coming into a team that at the time had Cody Jai Gray with a nice run here, and then kicks it down the centre, which ends up being a pretty good kick, and it's going to be a little Mulliman who picks it up at the 10. I don't think he doesn't like it. I just think that he didn't ever think he'd be playing in the 6 because they had Cody Walker and Ilias, I think, at the time, and they believed heavily in Ilias under Jason Demetrio. Yeah, Panthers are last. You are right. Panthers are last, and Panthers are poo. Thank you, Dasmate and Jay. 100% completion rate for the Rabbitohs at the moment. Munster, good run. Munster's away at the 50. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30. Still going, and he's still going at 25. Latrell Mitchell defends. What were you doing there? He just ran straight past him. So third tackle here at the 20 for the Storm. I'd argue 6 again there. Kolomatangi is clearly held on too long. Jerome Hughes to Little Mullen and Puppy. 10 metres out for tackle. For tackle. They give it to Elias and Katoa, and Katoa is going to be 4 metres away now from the line. Out to Jerome Hughes, 10 metres away, kicks this ball across. Xavier Coates. That's a speck and a half. Oh, that's a knock on. You've got to nearly penalise. I don't know if they even allow that in today's game. You've got to call that as a penalty. Yeah, this isn't AFL, to be fair. Like, it's awesome to watch. I love that, but this isn't AFL. And he will be penalised for it. You can't utilise... Yeah, he's just trying to utilise the AFL technique. But at the end of the day, it is the correct call because he is using his body. Oh, I don't know what the high tackle call is. They've actually called this as a high tackle. I thought he was calling the penalty for like effectively pushing the player, because that is what it is. Aguero will eat anything for $300. His words. His words. This may be a... No, they're not. It's not going to be a bin. I don't know why the commentary is talking about it. I don't know why the commentary is saying that could be a bin. It wasn't a bin. I do think Melbourne's ANZAC jerseys are probably the best ones this round. They look really nice. Well, listen, if they're allowing AFL specky catches, then sure, go for it, because I love them. I think it's really cool. I think it's really, you need a lot of talent and technique for it. However, it's like they would usually penalise that. Hold on. Out to the right-hand side for the Rabbitohs, and Isaiah Tass. Good run. Taking down the 40 on the Storm side of the field. Rabbitohs making their way up, making the way downtown. Okay, Jai Gray at the 45. And then back to Jack Whiten, 35 out. And it says, also, watched the Sheds interview after the Roosters Rabbits, and Whiten said that Wayne don't like him at 6 and prefers in the centres. Well, so there's no play. He's not going to play 6 because they've got Cody Walker, but now they've put Jai Gray there, which is really odd. I just don't understand why they moved Jai Gray from the 1 to the 6, but then again, he's been playing well in this game today, in the 6. And they'll be knocked back from the Rabbitohs. Still fit tackle all the way over the top. They might score. It's backwards. It's fine. It's backwards. Oh, that's a knock on. Unfortunately, the last one was a knock on. Dan, that was a chance, though. I've seen it happen a couple of times. What does specky mean? I don't watch AFL. Specky means like you're utilising the lower part of your legs to propel yourself into the air off of another player. So a specky is when, for example, in AFL where you jump and use your, like effectively between your foot and your knee, not just your not just the shin, like even up towards the knee area, and you use that where you jump onto them and then propel yourself even higher up. So it's like you're flying in the air. That's what a specky is. Why not Bud and Lewis? Well, Lewis, I'm not confident at all. Jaden Sullivan is playing as the starting 7 in this game. So 4 tackle now at the 30. No, that's at the 50. Sorry. David says, if we introduce the spec into the NRL, I can already see the way it'll get abused, especially in kick reception with the way they position the blocker in front of the winger fullback. It'll create an unfair advantage. It'll just, what it's doing is preventing someone from making a grab. So it's like if you're allowing the specky, if he doesn't catch that, surely you should be calling it as a penalty. Like surely it's kind of like a make or break thing, because if he catches it, but he's prevented the opposition player from having an opportunity based off of a technique that could be allowed, but there's just a lot of perspective that can be involved there. I think that if you go for a specking, you don't catch it, you should be arguably penalising it. But again, it technically does prevent the opposition from, going up for the ball as well. So fit tackle now at the 40, so you could arguably get penalised both ways. I'm surprised that they didn't call it. And another 2 deep kick there from Latrell, man. He's really going to stop doing those real deep kicks, because that's giving 7 tackle sets galore. He's giving way too many 7 tackle sets away. 17 minutes left in the first half. I will take a little bit of a break at half time, guys. 3 games is a lot to do, especially after that Knights Warriors game. I did say this in the first game too, though. Like, and if the Knights Warriors game is bad, it's slow. That third game is always so slow. Why is he kicking? Well, Trell's a very good deep kicker. Like, Trell is a good kicker. It's just that he doesn't have the depth on it, in the sense that he can't prevent it from going 7 tackle set. So he can kick the ball very far and very strong, and that's amazing. That's great kicking ability. The Storm will get the ball, hit the grass. Pappenhausen. Oh, taking down to the 33, third tackle. But it's just that, unfortunately, he doesn't understand how to prevent it from going too far. That's the issue with Trell, unfortunately. All right, 4 tackle. Munster. Sean Bloor, and it'll be fit tackle here at the 10. I can't believe it's still 6-6. The Storm have got question marks, dude. Like, you've got to admit, the Storm have question marks. Not just off last week, but inclusive of today. And knock on there from the Storm, and the Rabbitohs will grab it through Latrell Mitchell. It brings it out to the 15. Outside of his kicking today, Latrell has been quite non-existent. Jai Gray, again, has been their best player. Latrell needs to put a little less mustard in his kicks. He needs to put a lot less mustard in his kicks. Trell, Mitt, and Reece Walsh have the same issue with kicking. 0 finesse. I'd still say Trell is a better kicker than Reece. Jai Gray out to the left-hand side. Jack Whiten. And then they're at the 40. Third tackle. Storm on a real name. Well, I've noticed that there is a lack of confidence, Stats, mate, today in the first 3 streams. I haven't seen Bulldogs winning the comp yet. I'm having to encourage it out of you. I'm having to keep you, confident about your own team. What's going on here, Taz? Taz, mate, you're falling off the wagon, buddy. You're falling off the wagon right now. I'm about to update this ladder in a second too. All right, so Storm grabbed the ball here at the 10. Give me 1 second here. I'm just going to update this ladder so Warriors fans can, get their pants off and rock and roll. Look at themselves in second position. Otherwise, we'll get Adam Smart coming here and complain that I haven't updated the ladder, which he always does. All right, let's change that. Image. And there we go. Warriors fans, get up and party. That's a very odd top 2A. You don't usually see that. All right, so fit tackle down at the Storm, and they are at the 50. Jerome Hughes steps. He's the 40, the 30, the 20. Kicks it over the top. Maybe popping the house in the bounce. It will be a dropout. Will be a dropout. That was close. Is Jai Gray Queenslander? Yes, Jared Farmoni. Is he a possible smoky for Origin because he is being consistently fun to watch? Yes. Yes, he would be a smoky for Origin. I still think Kalen Ponga gets fullback. I don't think Reece Walsh does. You could put Jai Gray 14 maybe. I still think he's very young, but at very minimum, keep him around the Origin team. Paint the buses up the wires. There you go. There's a circle jerk. Here it comes. Still have a lot to prove the wires, but it's very... I predicted them very low on the table this year because I just didn't know how their post-Sean Johnson era would go. And they've still got a lot of questions about them, and there's still a lot... That's a big hit. They've still got a lot to prove, but it's very good to see how good they've been at the beginning part of the season against teams that they would expect to beat for the most part, except for maybe the Broncos last week. But overall, it's been a great watch for the Wires this year so far. This has been a more entertaining game than the others tonight. Oh, Robert, this is shat on the other two games so far. Second tackle now for the Storm. They go to the left. By the way, did your girlfriend ease up on you for the your partner? Sorry, your partner ease up on you for the Dragons game, or is she still going? Because if she stopped, it's my turn. And that's going to be a Storm ball. He's still at the 15. They get back to Sualowi Faulongo, who's 8 metres away from the line. 8 metres away. Forward tackle. And Garlic, Josh King taking out the 3. It's showing how important Harry Grant is to this team, man. It's showing how important Harry Grant is to this team. Rabbitohs get it at the 1. Latrell Mitchell. After my head massage comments in the first stream, I will keep my pants on. Still sorry about that. I don't even know why you're apologising about the head massage comments when we've literally had Lucas coming in talking about going to Thailand and getting... going to Thailand and getting ladyboys, and people asking me to bring ladyboys on the stream. So, trust me, man, you do not need to apologise for you talking about head massage. It's one of the lesser things that we've heard on here. Fit tackle for the Rabbitohs. They've only made it to the 30. That's not a great set at all. 12 minutes left in the first half. Oh, he's lost the ball. It's gone backwards. They might actually be able to get some... No, Mamazelis, you got to pass that there. Daz is commemorating a moment's silence for his team's premiership chances. That was a Kia yesterday in the Battle of the Big Dogs, lest he forgets. Look, it makes sense. It makes sense, Daz. Daz says, why would I need to say it? Say it is a pure fact we'll win the comp. Some peasant just got lucky last night. Some peasant? Are you saying the Broncos are peasants? I'm not going to disagree with that either. Robert says she's trying to get the kids to back the Bronx, man. Oh my gosh, get it here. Get it here. Tell her to watch the stream. I'll give her a piece of my mind in regards to supporting the Bronx. Based on one game? Serious? They lost the Wires last week and the Roosters the week before that, buddy. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. Jerome Hughes off to the 20. Elias Katoa. Fit tackle. 10 minutes to go the first half, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Punch it. Punch the like button. Punch it. Knock on there from the Storm, I think. If it's not, then it's a knock on Rabbitohs. So this would be Rabbitohs ball here at the 10. If you were in charge of the Storm roster and was forced to get rid of one of the spine, who are you letting go? Contextually, you probably go Papanhausen because you've got Fa'alongo. But I will say, Munster's not the player he once was. So, if contextually I've got Fa'alongo, if I don't have Fa'alongo, and I've only got Papanhausen, I've got Munster, I would consider Munster. I would. But it would have to depend on who the depth is. Lagerborg says, what a way to bounce back to a shit loss to the Dolphins, levelling with the Rabbits. Well, the Rabbits are at least a team that kind of expect. I had them in 7th position this year. The Rabbitohs are currently sitting in 8th position, so it's like not far off. They win this game, they'll be a little bit up, but they shouldn't be winning this game. The point is, the Storm have been very disappointing today so far, but there's a long way to go. Oh, forward pass! Oh, forward pass to the Storm! With 10 minutes to go, the Rabbitohs have now got 20. They're 20 metres out, and they've got an attacking opportunity. Daz says, plus the Dogs are still 6-0 in New South Wales. You're right, Daz, but there's a problem here. Do you want to know what that problem is, Daz? I'll give you a moment to think about it. So you're 6-0 in New South Wales. You played in Brisbane last night against the Broncos. Where do you play next week? Where do you play next week? Because last I heard, Magic Round was all at Brisbane, at Suncorp Stadium. And who do you play again? So it's going to be the Rabbitohs here. Oh, by the way, I think that was the worst result for the Titans yesterday. I think the Dogs should bounce back next week. But then again, to argue your point, second tackle, and they're 5 metres away here from the line. 9 minutes left. The grand finals played in New South Wales. But yeah, you need to make the final first. Didn't you also lose to Manly last year? Oh, that's an obstruction if you don't go down. Probably still should have called that. But anyway, it's going to be, that was a pretty heavy obstruction. But they won't call the penalty against the Rabbitohs. Magic Round is next week, Sunday, yeah. My birthday's on the Sunday, May 4th, and that's the day we play the Doggy Doggy Woof Woof. It's a big weekend next week because we've got the Women's Origin on Thursday as well. I've got a family friend who's actually debuting, Tavana Papali'i. 4 tackle now at the 7. 4 tackles, 7 metres out. Mama Zellis off to Duncan, Jaden Sullivan, Jack Whiten! Jack White's lost the ball! Oh my gosh, who knocked that ball out? They're going to go up to the bunker to see how this ball comes out. If he plays at the ball, then that's a 2-on-1 strip. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, it'd be allowed because he's gone for the try, but then there'll be a grounding for South afterwards. This could still be a try. No. I'd make the argument that he is playing at that. They might say that he's just coming in for a tackle, but he's very clearly swiping at that ball. No, not a penalty try. Not a penalty try. You're allowed to save the try like that. Oh, actually, no, it is a penalty. But he's going for a try. You're allowed to try and knock the ball out when he's going for a try. Like, he's basically over the line at that point. So, is this an 8-point try? I think this is an 8-point try. But the thing is that you are allowed, because the way they just explained it, but you're allowed to swipe at the ball and try and release the ball when the opposition team's going for a try. And that's exactly what Jack White was doing. So it's a try. Someone says, no, normal try. But usually if there's a penalty on the play of the score, then that's an 8-point try where you get, like, I don't understand what's happened here. Because what was the point of them speaking about the penalty then? I'm a bit confused. Either way, Rabbitohs lead 10-6. Which says, Tigers have a 100% win rate in games they've won. Therefore, Tigers are winning the comp. Can't agree with the facts. Yeah, but they've also got a 100% lose rate in games that they've lost. And unfortunately for you, they have lost more games than they've won. So when you add the potato with the tomato and the tomato with the potato, you get the potato tomato. You know, that's how you got to start thinking. At this point, I don't even know what an 8-point try is anymore. I don't know either, Jared, because technically, based off of what they just called, then that would be a penalty try because it's a penalty and a try. So, I don't know. So, Latrell Mitchell from the left-hand side will miss the kick. So they would have loved a penalty try there, because an 8-point try, because they would have missed it, and they got the kick from in front to make it a 6-point game, but now it stays a 4-point game. Regardless, the Rabbitohs lead 10-6 down in Melbourne. They have never, ever in their history won in Melbourne. Davis, yeah, no, the facts are facts, Mitchell. When you put it like that, how can you argue against it? Well, I just kind of did, though. I kind of did, though, you know? If it's a penalty and a try, isn't a penalty try? That's the point, Logan Paul says. That's what we're arguing, yeah. They've said it's a penalty for the 2 on the tackle strip, and then he scored the try directly off of that. So then why is that not a penalty try for a potential 8 points? Because it's only a 6-point penalty try if they don't score it. But he did score it. So there is the try and there is the penalty. So it should have been, he missed the kick lateral from where it was. So that's fine. But they still get the kick from in front to make it a 6-point game rather than the 8-point game, which they had the opportunity for. And also, Robbo, if you ever ask me that question again, you're getting timed out for 7 hours. You ever ask me Palmer or Palmer again, you're getting timed out for the rest of eternity. Don't ever disrespect a great, beautiful Palmy, especially on Anzac Day. Especially a Palmy on Anzac Day. If anyone here calls it a Palmer, out yourself right now. You're getting removed. You're getting removed. Casey says, good old Kiwi sidestep. Troy Fitzsimmons is coming, Rabbits. You got this. Don't let the Warriors down. I don't think they give a shit about the Warriors, but the Rabbitohs have got the ball here. They're 20 metres out, and doesn't matter. So it'll be Storm ball here at the 15. Palmer is a disgrace of a word. It actually makes me sick to think about. If someone offers me a Palmer, I wouldn't even spit on it. It's that bad. I wouldn't even spit on it. I would not even spit on it. Sana says it wasn't a penalty. He just slapped the ball out, so no knock on. No, the bunker called that as a penalty. The bunker said there's 2 in the tackle, and he's going for the ball. At least that's the way I see it. Yeah, but that's not what we're arguing, Sundo. We're arguing what the bunker called. The bunker said that there's 2 in the tackle, and he's made a play at the ball. Right? My argument is that you are allowed to do that in the... that's why I argue. And this is what I think they've maybe called, which they just didn't explain to us. But when you're going for a try, you are allowed. You are allowed to hit that ball out. But they didn't explain that. So they said penalty for the 2 in the tackle and strip effectively. But I think that they've allowed it because that's a good kick there from the Storm. So it's going to be a dropout here from Latrell Mitchell. 5 minutes to go here the first half. So that's the confusion that we have here. They said it was a penalty, and they said it was a try, but it's not a penalty try. And my argument is that he's slapping the ball out in a try-scoring play, which you're allowed to do, but they didn't explain that, so we don't know what the fuck's going on. That's the confusion, sir. Jared Farmo says, I could go for a Palmy. No, Jared, it's spelled Palmy with an I. You're only not getting timed out. That's not even going to go 10. Yep, that's going to be Storm ball here at the 10. Palmy with a Y is okay-ish, but Palmy with the I is how you spell it. It's Palmy, Parmigiana, Parmigiana, not Parmigiana, Parmigiana, and not Parmigiana, Parma. Parmigiana. Palmy. Deary me. You know, he's getting wild. Storm here, 6 again. 3 meters away. Nearly got pushed over the line. You see, I'm learning my Kiwi. Yeah, no, absolutely right. Just like you guys can start admitting that that far lap was ours, and you can stop trying to take away. You can stop trying to take away our Pavlova and finally admit that Australia makes the better pies. So first tackle now, and it's... Oh, it's a big hit there. It's gone backwards, though, from the Storm, they say. And it's at the 3. Sometimes they call that as a knock-on into the high tackle penalty Storm. Where does the A come from, though? Unlogical. Okay, unlogical is also not a word, Blitzy. Unlogical is also not a word. But the A is because people say Parmigiana. When that's not how you pronounce it. It's not how you say it. And it's not how you spell it. So Australians, they'll say Parmigiana. But I don't even think most do. They call it Parmigiana. Meh. So I don't understand how you get the A. But maybe Victorians do because they're weird. Alright, out to the left. Short play. Try top of the Storm. Xavier Coates on the wing just before half time. They go bing. They go boom. It's 10-10 with a kick to come. Parmesan. Trevor Simmons says, what yous can have Russell Crowe, but we definitely have better pies in New Zealand. No, that was a joke, bro. I do actually think you have better pies in New Zealand. But I'm glad that you admitted that Farlap was ours. I'm glad you admitted it. So try times there for the Melbourne Storm. David says, but is he the Dutch rudder? What is happening here? I love a chicken Palm Beach. Skunkle, what are you saying? What is a chicken Palm Beach? What is a chicken Palm Beach? What are you talking about? 10-10 here with 2 minutes to go the first half. Sam as Barbie and barbecue said a but abbreviates that. Said a but abbreviated. Or said a barbecue. No, I don't say barbecue. I say barbecue. Barbecue. Not barbecue. Barbecue. I say it how it says. But internationals would hear that differently. So trust me, when in my travels, it's so hard. Pronunciations, even in English, people, it's like listening to Indians' pronunciations of English words. You have to really listen in. There was another one. Who was the one? It was Italians. Kind of fine. They just roll their R's. They roll a lot. Belgium wasn't too bad. Australia's the best custard tart. We'll die on that hill. We do have a good custard tart. And the ones in the shops too. Alright, so the Storm will miss the kick off the post, so it stays 10-10. This is going to be a tight half-time. This is going to be a tight half-time. It's going to be a draw at half-time 10-10 unless the Storm with their last opportunity do something. Jared says, I've never tried an Aussie pie, so I can't really make a criticism. So unfortunately, Skunkle and I didn't go to a pie shop in New Zealand. I have a friend who's a content creator, who is like a big content creator for pies in Auckland. I really wanted to go there, but unfortunately, we just didn't have the time. Sam was too busy hooking up. So minute 13 to go the first half. He's too busy with his girlfriends, the old Skunkle. So he couldn't go to the pies. So I can't even talk about it yet. But I'm really planning to get to New Zealand beginning of next year. Asian Bakery Central. Best around. Really, Blitzy? You're going to argue Australia has the best custard tart and say the shop's name is Asian Bakery Central? Blitzy, do you see your problem here? Storm third tackling at the 30. You've argued that Australia has the best custard tart and said its name is the Asian Bakery Central. I want you to rethink your entire life right now. So it's third tackle here. Stormer away. Taking out the 40. Don't give it up now. Don't give it up now here, Rabbitohs. You've done so well in the first half. Over the top, and it goes over the sideline. I mean, the best bakeries have the Asian ladies behind the counter. You're not helping your argument here, Blitzy. You're not helping the argument. You're not helping your argument here. So 13 seconds left here in the first half. Jerome Hughes has thrown that ball over the top, but it just didn't happen. 6 seconds left until halftime. Touchy ain't playing. Touchy's not playing, Brocky. They're trying to get him involved, but unfortunately, Touchy is not involved in this game. I'm going to remove this comment, Jay, just because I think you understand. I know, Jay, that's what we all call it, but I am removing that comment, and I know you understand why. I know you understand why. But anyway, it's half time here. 10-10 at half time. The Rabbitohs doing well to stick into this game as heavy underdogs who have never won in Melbourne. And yeah, no, message retracted, bro. I already removed it. You didn't have to. You didn't have to remove it anyway. But look, the Rabbitohs doing well here to stay in it. The Storm, I've got a lot of questions about them at the moment, and you'd have to start really being concerned about kind of what they're doing at this point of the season. You just don't really kind of understand. I'm going to run through a couple of these stats, and then I'm going to have about a 5. Yeah, no, I trust you. It's a true story, Jay. Like, I don't believe that you were saying that with animosity. It's just that I know people can come in and just change context and stuff like that. But halftime, hit that like button, subscribe. We'll slap through a couple of these stats, and then I'm going to have a bit of a 5-minute break before we come back for the second half because we've done 3 games today. So the Storm 55% possession, 45% possession for the Rabbitohs. There is 80% completion rate for the Storm at 20 from 25. You know what's incredibly impressive? This is raining today. So 80% solid. The Rabbitohs are 100% completion rate. They've got 19 completed sets from 19 sets. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible at first half. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. That is amazing. You do not see that much. You do not usually see that. So 100% completion rate is amazing. Attack all runs 109 to 87 in favour of the Storm. 940 run meters to 691 in favour of the Storm. So they are winning in the meterage department. And by a decent enough amount, 250 odd. Post contact meters is 325 to 237 to the Storm. Line breaks is 4-1 Storm way. Tackle breaks is 27-14. So they may have great completed sets, but they're missing a lot of tackles here, the Rabbitohs. Average set distance is 37.62 for the Storm and 36.5 for the Rabbitohs, which is actually decent in wet weather conditions. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. When it's dry track, that's not great. It's okay, but it's not great. That is actually pretty good on a wet track. Play the ball speed, 3.4 seconds for the Storm, 3.49 for the Rabbitohs. Slow-ish, but it's wet weather. Actually, that's quite fast for wet weather conditions. 5 to 4 offloads Rabbitohs way. Then you've got kick defusal 80% from the Rabbitohs, 50% from the Storm. 3 forced dropouts to 0 from the Storm, which is really important. Defensively, both teams not great, but specifically the Rabbitohs, 88.36% for the Storm, 167 tackles made, 14 missed, and 8 ineffective. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. Like 88% is what you want. 88.36% is on the very bottom end of like acceptable. 85.59% for the Rabbitohs is not good. 196 tackles made for 27 missed tackles and 6 ineffective. So they're not having too many ineffective, but they are having a lot of missed tackles. 27 is on target for 50 missed tackles, which is insane. Negative play. The Storm have 8 errors, 3 to the Rabbitohs, so that's a really good thing for the Rabbits. Penalties conceded is 1-1. Then you've got ruck infringements 2-2, and inside 10 metres is 2-0 to the Rabbits. So, yeah, Rabbits are doing well. I'm really impressed with that completion rate, though. That completion rate is amazing. 19 from 19. You don't see that much. That's impressive, man. That is impressive. But all right, I'll read a couple of comments, and then I'm going to have a quick go wash my face and stuff. Angus says, have you still got Cronulla winning the Prem or no clue now with this comp? I have the same amount of clue of who wins this comp as... No, I'm not going to make that joke. I was going to make an unacceptable joke. I will not do that. I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I don't have a clue who wins the competition this year. I don't have a clue who makes the top 4 this year. I don't have a clue who makes the top 8 this year. I don't have a clue who comes last this year. I don't have a clue who finishes at the bottom 4 this year, except for the Newcastle Knights. And then I go back to the previous one of the spoon and I say they're probably going to be the Newcastle Knights. Now, I don't have an absolute blimey. I don't have jack shit of a clue in regards to what's going to be happening this year across the competition, and that's what's so exciting and so good about it, because you have no idea. It's not like the Panthers are going to win the comp, or the Storm are going to win the comp. We don't know nothing. The Broncos, they lose 2 games in a row to the Roosters and the Warriors, who Warriors have half their team out, and they go and beat the Bulldogs, who are undefeated. Undefeated Bulldogs, and they're up 34-0 at half time. You know, the Bulldogs, they're undefeated, then they go and lose the team that's lost 2 games in a row. You've got the Melbourne Storm, who were up 16-2 against the Dolphins, who are 0-4 to start the season, and then lose by about 20-odd points, 42-22 or something last week. And they expected to bounce back here against the Rabbitohs, who have never won in Melbourne, and it's 10-10 at half time. You know, like, and the Rabbitohs last week, they got slapped up, didn't they? Rabbitohs got slapped up, I think, last week. Let me quickly have a look. 32-0 to the Dogs. Yeah, the same team, 32-0 Dogs team that was down 34-0 at halftime. You know, that tells you everything you need to know. Like, this season's so exciting because you just don't know shit. You just don't know shit. You know, and then when the Bulldogs go and lose to the Titans next week, I think Bulldogs fans might protest. I think the whole comp might protest because it'll be just such a surprise. But all right, I'm going to go wash my face, wake myself up a little bit. 2.5 games, 3 games is a lot to do. So give me a few moments here, guys. Obviously, keep chatting in the chat. Insult the Broncos for Angus Fall. Get into Daz, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Thumbs up, subscribe. It'll be like 2 minutes. 1 sec. Okay. Okay. We're coming back. And we are back. Okay, he says, just watch your Titans' biggest win in history video of the 66-6 Warriors game. Love seeing you get amongst the crowd and start chants. Dude, I did that for 15 years, man. I did that for 5-6 years before I even started YouTube. I've been doing that since like 2009, 2010. This is the first year I haven't been doing that. David says, one might argue that if Melbourne score the most points in the second half, that they'll win, but that's just one theory. It's an interesting theory. I will disagree with you. I have no reason to disagree with you, but I'm just going to disagree with you because I can. Skitterman says it's half time. Thank you, Skitter. Yeah, no, you are right. Yeah, a couple of really intriguing comments there. Crippy says, Storm fan here. Crazy how crucial a dummy half is. And no, this isn't an excuse. It's just that Bronson has no creativity nor desire to actually run and be smart. His passes are very flat and goes wrong. Yeah, look. Oh, geez, this is actually really high. Let me put that up like that. There you go. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Harry Grant is very important to the Storm, and he's proving that he is how important he is to the Storm. I think that the Storm can win without Munster. I think the Storm can win without Pappenhausen. I don't know how much they can win without Jerome Hughes, and I don't know how much they can win without Harry Grant. They may be able to win this game today, but to be fair, the Rabbitohs are 100% completion rate at halftime. They are 19 from 19 in wet weather, so that is a very, very good stat line. But it's very clear that Harry Grant was a big loss last week. And I also think the Storm last week would have expected, knowing their history, that they're up 16-2, so they're just going to win this game and win this game well. And then that's where it all fell apart. And the Dolphins had a lot to prove, and they were 0-4 to start, and they went on a bit of form run. And the Raiders and Dolphins game actually on Sunday will be a good game. That'll be a good game. I don't know how to call that one. I'd probably say that I actually might lean with the Dolphins. Based off of form, I might lean with the Dolphins in that one, even though it's in Canberra. Jason, Sam squeals like a pig in that vid. Sam does squeal like a pig quite a lot. Yes. No, Sam, I feel like he'd be a lot quieter. Actually, no, he is a lot quieter now that I'm not there. But, the old skunkle. He did squeal like a pig in that one. And he was calling like a 50 bomb at like 10 points down. I grabbed some roast chicken and Sprite and ready for the second half. Please don't talk to me about food. I actually haven't eaten today. I haven't eaten today yet, so I'm really looking forward to having some food tonight, man. I'm going to go to a good restaurant and enjoy tonight, which will be good. I would love to stay here longer than to Monday. I was meant to stay in Udaipur for like 3 days, and now I've ended up being here since last Thursday, so that's... Since last Thursday, I think it was. I think that was when I got here. So that would be a week, 8 days. So I've been here 8 days. I'll end up being here 11 when I was meant to be here for 3. That's how much I love it here. No snacks in the fridge. Well, there's no fridge in this hotel room. Like, there is food and stuff upstairs and drinks, but I'd have to order it. Agreed, bro. Need this time to have a grinding match to get into that mentality rather than blowouts. Yeah, you can't rely on blowouts in today's day and age because, like, there's been a couple of blowouts, but the Roosters don't rely upon them, and the Broncos don't rely upon them. Well, they kind of do, actually. The Broncos do, when they win, is more likely down that path. But yeah, it's such a tough season to call. Are you staying in a hotel? What do you think? I bought a place in India? Yeah, I'm in a hostel, actually. I'm in a hostel, but I'm in a private room in a hostel because I have to pay for the private rooms because I need to stream. So if I'm in a dorm, then it's not possible because there's people coming in and out. So I go for the private rooms. This is the first hostel I've stayed in India. It's an amazing hostel. It's actually really fun. It's great. But what did you expect when you said that you're staying in a hotel? I'm in India, bro. That plasma TV screams hostel straight away. Exactly right. Yeah. I don't even know if it works. I don't even know if that works. I don't even care. It'd only be Indian Hindi TV shows and stuff, so I definitely don't care at all. And if you're going to, and you're traveling a country and you're watching TV back here, like, there's a problem. Even at night, I think there's a problem if you're watching TV, even at like 11 p.m. at night. Like, enjoy the country, and like this is very quiet and serene at night, except for the festivals that have been, the last couple of nights, last night. It's usually extremely quiet. Like, go out and explore, man. I thought you were in America. I was in America. For Vegas. I was in Vegas from February 27th until like the 3rd, and then I went to Hawaii for about like 4 days, 5 days, and then I was in Fiji for 2 nights, and then I went to Hong Kong for a night, and then I was in Delhi for 17 days, Agra for 4 nights, Jaipur for how long was I in Jaipur for? Probably for about 14 days or 17 days as well, and then now I've been in Udaipur for about 8. All right. Someone said you're in Indiana. Oh, don't listen to Skunkle. He's an idiot. That's Skunkle. Second half is about to start here, guys. Second half is about to start. It's 10-10 at halftime. No, that was Skunkle. But Skunkle's a muppet. Sam, if you're listening to this, then this is what you've done. You've made someone believe that I was in Indiana. Oh! That's out! So it's going to be off the kickoff. The Storm let it bounce. It's got bounce, and the Rabbitohs will give up the ball. So Rabbitohs were receiving the ball. The Storm are going to get it at 10. It's a great kickoff. It's a great kickoff. Damn, that's the worst start you could possibly have. He's in! Oh, hit the line. Yeah, the ball hit the line. His foot was in, but the ball hits the line. Yeah, so it's a scrum. Yeah. That's a wild start here for the second half. That is a wild start for the second half. And if the Rabbitohs concede here, I think Storm win guaranteed. A Storm win guaranteed if the Rabbits if they score right now. There is no world you should ever be allowing the ball to bounce and go over the sideline on quite literally the first kick of the second half. And out to the right side, and Fa'alongo will over the sideline. Well done defensively. Well done defensively there from the Storm. This is going to be a no try. Well done defensively from the Rabbitohs. This is going to be a no try first tackle. Fa'alongo is celebrating. I'm pretty certain he goes over the sideline here. I think it's Jai Gray with the tackle, and he will definitely be out. Well out. Yeah, Jai Gray. What a tackle. What a tackle. Forget my tip. I generally hope South wins this game. I would love South to win. I would love South to win. Like, the Titans can go above them tomorrow, and I'd still nearly prefer the South to win. If the Rabbitohs lose and the Titans win tomorrow, the Titans will go above Rabbitohs. So it's like, realistically, I should be wanting South to lose this game. But I just love rugby league, and it's like, it'd be amazing to see them actually win this game against the Storm. Wow, clip it. Clip what? Oh no, Jai Gray's kind of wobbling as he's getting back into it. Alright, so third tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 25. Melbourne on fraud watch if they lose. They were on fraud alert last week. If they could, they would absolutely be. Absolutely, they'd be on fraud alert. 2 straight losses and to lose their first ever game in Melbourne to South Sydney, yeah, absolutely, they'd be on fraud alert. I think even if they win this game, they're kind of on fraud alert a little bit. Because they haven't been convincing, but Fa'alongo taking it down to the 10. With that being said, I think the Rabbitohs are better than a lot of people have made out. I think they are, yeah. I think they are a lot better than people have made out. It's just that they've had a rough couple of weeks also. Been on fraud watch all year. Thank you, Daz. I realise I should put that light on, but just put it further away. It's too bright though. There we go. That's all right. Storm to sack Bellamy as Storm lost this game. I don't think that Bellamy's ever getting sacked from the Melbourne Storm. He would have to leave the Melbourne Storm. He would have to leave. Alright, so the Storm now at the 50. They will kick that up into the corner, and it will be... Oh no, Rabbitohs. Oh my gosh. Eliesa Katoa has just scored a try, and I don't know how he got the ball. I don't know how he got the ball there, but Eliesa Katoa will score a try off the back of that kick. And I don't know what the winger for the Rabbitohs was doing. So Jerome Hughes puts it up. He's onside. Eliesa Katoa is onside. And I don't know how Bailey Bentley-Hape has allowed that ball to go through. So Storm up 14-10 with the kick to come. 14-10 with a kick to come. Like, why is he so far off the ball? Why is Bailey Bentley Hape missing the ball that badly? He didn't read that kick at all. And Melbourne on fraud watch. They are on fraud watch, even if they kind of win this game, unless they go and blow this game apart. If they go and blow this game apart, then no. But I just can't believe Bailey Bentley Hape was nowhere close to catching that ball, and it was the easiest try ever for Elias Katoa. If Puppy is kicking, then we're still a chance. I think Puppy is kicking it. Oh no, Meany's just come back from injury. That's why he wouldn't be kicking, is it? I can't remember who was kicking in the first half. I think it's Pappenhausen. He's only missed one kick, Pappenhausen. So 5 minutes in, and the Rabbitohs, they throw away a lot of their good work from the first half. Here's Pappenhausen scoring. Hey, by the way, when's Trent Loiero scoring, Skunkle? Skunkle, when is Trent Loiero scoring? Pappenhausen will get the kick. So it is 16-10 with 35 minutes to go here of the game. Don't forget, tomorrow there will be the Titans versus the Cowboys and Panthers versus Manly. Jason's might need to refresh that clock. Oh, I'll refresh that. I'll refresh the clock for you. That's how long I've been streaming for today that I can't even speak. Now, the only English words I know right now is Trent Loiero didn't score first try. Anytime this season. Don't know ever if it's happened. Who scored for the Storm? This try, Money Jaguar, was Elias Katoa. If you're talking about in like the whole game, then Pappenhausen and Coates scored in the first half. Refresh. Jay, listen, my brain is not braining right now. But the Storm will grab this ball at the 5. Skunk says, shut up, go get sick again, you dog. Hey, listen, I can go get sick, but I can promise you right now, I can at least have pepper with my food and not find it too spicy. So I would rather be sick for like a certain amount of time and be really sick than to go through my entire life and find pepper spicy. That's what I would say, Skunkle, personally. I don't know how everyone else feels, but for me, I would prefer to eat pepper with my food than find it too spicy, unlike you. Go look at Google. Alright, so fit tackle now. Is it working still? I've still got 10 gigabytes. Yeah. Must suck not being able to handle a pepper steak pie. Mate, how good's a pepper steak pie? Am I frozen for you guys, or is it okay? Am I frozen, or are we okay? I'm back on. Yeah, I don't know what happened just then, but it stopped, and now it's working again. Oh no! Rabbitohs made a mistake, so it's Storm ball here, 25 metres away from the line. How much pepper do you put the whole bottle? Yeah, put the whole bottle, mate. Yeah, one whole bottle of pepper into my noodles. It's no surprise though that Skunkle's too scared to reply now. It's no surprise. So the Storm now at the 10. No, it wasn't just you. My thing. Welcome to India. To be fair, the internet and stuff has been really good throughout my stay here, just not Udaipur necessarily. Second tackle here, 5 metres away from the line. Skunk says, what's the point? Because he's scared. Scared little bitch. So it's Ryan Pappenhausen now 10 metres away from the line. Steps inside, 5 metres out, third tackle. Hey, listen. It makes sense. It makes sense, Skunk. 6 again now for the Storm. 10 away. Munster. He's 5 out. I admit to having pepper all the time, but it's still the same joke. Look, you said one time you don't have pepper, it's too spicy for you. And now we say it, and you say it was a joke. That usually means it wasn't a joke, because you just say it because you got laughed at. It's okay. And the Storm will knock the ball on. It's Rabbitohs ball at 10. Never said. Did say, Jay, asked Jay Hayes, he's a very trustworthy and intelligent guy, Mr. Jay Hayes. Did Skunkle ever admit to saying that pepper was too spicy for him? Little Busby says, Souths aren't that bad. They have had hard competition in their draw. I tipped the Rabbitohs for 7th this year. I tipped the Rabbitohs for 7th preseason. I don't think the Rabbitohs are that bad. I think the Rabbitohs are a decent enough team. I don't think they're winning the comp by any means, but I do think they're a better team than most people have given them credit for, and I've always said that. I've never said that they... The web app you have attempted to reach. What? The NRL.com app looks like it might be... I think the NRL.com app has just stopped. I just realised the score below me has disappeared. Can anyone else check and see if the NRL.com is working for yourselves, or if it's just me? All right, so it's going to be Rabbitohs ball here, third tackle at the 15. Page loading. Sorry, we got the ball. Yeah, it's down. NRL app. NRL.com is down. Well, I don't have the score for you anymore. I have to go into like flash score or something. Rugby League NRL. Alright, I'll have to go into flash score and get the score. Alright, so they kick this one down to Ryan Pappenhausen. It lets it bounce, but it will go to Xavier Coates. We'll bring it out to the 15 now. Still only 16-10. Yeah, it's down for you too. Alright, let me go get the score from the flash score. There we go. New window. Just give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just getting the score so people can see what it is. Otherwise, we'll get everyone always asking what the score is and what the time is and whatnot. There we go. Bang. Still only 6 points, though. Oh, now I'm going to have to, like, fix it and all that. And I shouldn't have even done it. Good offload there from the Storm. They're away. Far longer. Inside. Oh, they slip over to the 10. That's a penalty. Tyron Wishart's going to take the 2. They're going to take the 2, the Storm. The Storm. And there's also a player taking out back play. But either way, there would have been a high tackle. There might be a bin here. There may be a bin coming up right now. So Fa'alongo comes through the line. Jai Gray can't get him. Can't hit there either, Fa'alongo. Tyron Wishart underneath. He'll flick the ball away and bang! Latrell's going to the bin. Latrell's going to the bin, man. Latrell is going to the bin. But sorry, I was agreeing with you saying they could win and aren't that bad. No, yeah, I agree. This game is a bit difficult, though, because they've never won in Melbourne before. Like, the Rabbitohs have never won in Melbourne before. I don't understand why that's not a bin. I don't understand how you're not calling that a bin, referees. 30 minutes to go of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. How on earth is this not a bin? You have to call this as a bin. You have to call this as a bin. Still waiting. Still waiting. Where is the score? NRL.com app is down right now, mate. So the score, unfortunately, is not here. I'm going to do a different source and try and fix it. Direct contact with the shoulder. Moderate force, and he's in the bin. Latrell Mitchell is going to the bin for 10 minutes here. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get this A score up so that you guys can see something. Except that. Go scroll down like this. They'll take the penalty for sure. There's no way they don't take the 2 here. We'll do it like that. That is not great. Alright, so they will take... I'm assuming they take the 2. Sorry, I'm just fixing this all up right now. I've never seen that before. When has the NRL app ever gone down? I've never seen it. And he might get suspended for that too, by the way. That is a heavy kick. That is a heavy hit, sorry. 50. There we go. Yeah, this might get a little bit dodgy now for South. This potentially could get quite dodgy. I'm not going to make it that big, actually. There we go. All right, we're just going to leave it like that. Really. So there you go. They take the 2 and they will go up 18-10. If anyone finds out when the app is up, like the NRL.com one is up, that'll look a lot better on the screen. So just let me know. But it's 18-10 now. Top 50, 40. Yeah, we'll go like that. It's just so big on the screen now. It's just so big. That's what she said. Yeah, right. Google's still showing the score. You know, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so 29 minutes left here in the game. 18-10 to Melbourne, but Latrell Mitchell is out of the game for the next 9 minutes or so. Goes down a lot for me. Yeah, I've never had it. Hey, how are you feeling with the recent crackdown on high shots? Warriors' sin bins were soft. Sure, but it's been that way since the calls have been made. It's not just the please don't start like pretending it's just the Warriors who copped it. The Warriors got some soft sin bins for sure, but also, yeah, there's many other teams who have copped really soft sin bins since the crackdown. Many other teams. If it's consistent, it is what it is. If it's inconsistent, that's when I have a problem. Yeah, I used to use this scoreboard in streams ages ago, yeah. So Storm whack it up, and the Rabbitohs will allow Xavier Coates to catch it at the 15. What do you reckon about this rule? No, I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with the ruling, but as long as it's consistent, I don't really care. As long as it's consistent, that is the main thing. Because at the end of the day, we just want consistency. And also, I'm all for protecting players' heads. Yeah, I would love to watch the rugby league we watched 20, 30 years ago, sure, but it's not like that anymore. It just isn't. It just is not. And it never will be because they know too much about, head contact and concussions and long-term effects and whatnot. They know too much about it now. So it's never going to be punch-ons, and you're never going to see what we saw 20, 30 years ago. Penalty to the Rabbitohs. So, yes, it's soft, but it is still technically correct. The night spin was softer, though. The night spin was also very, very soft, yeah. Olivia says this rugby game is still going. Reds 35, 14 Blues. Skungle! Skungle! Pepper. Oh my gosh. The Rabbitohs didn't even kick the ball out in the full. Off the penalty, so it's going to be Storm ball at the 50. Oh my gosh, South Sydney. Yeah, they're throwing the game now. They're throwing the game now. But the Reds getting over the Blues, dear me. Lucas back from his Thailand trip. Back from his Ladyboys in Thailand trips. As people would still complain even if they play with the older rules too. Yeah, no matter what, people will complain. Yeah. The boss says they've been consistent with it. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't agree with the necessarily the rule. That's a 4 pass. I don't necessarily agree with the ruling of it, but as long as the ruling is consistent, I don't give a shit. Mitchell, yes, the Warriors sin bin was soft. Totally ignore the Knights sin bin was arguably softer. Exactly right, Mitchell. That's why I bit back at that, because it's annoying when it's always like Warriors are copping all the bad calls. Not every team, but majority of teams get some really bad calls. It just says, imagine if that punch-on from Stewart versus Blair happened in today's world. They'd be out for like 8 weeks. Straight up, they would be probably out for like 8 weeks. Because they would even suspend players who came in off the bench when you're not allowed to be on the field and whatnot as bench players. They would genuinely suspend for like 8 weeks to really curb it and set a precedent. It's up. The NRL is back. The NRL app is back up. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, that'll look a lot better. So third, I'll wait for this set first, and then I'll go and I'll refresh the score. All right, so Rabbitohs now 30 metres away from the line. Jack Whiten's been, yeah, it's going to be a penalty to the Rabbitohs here. Penalty to the Rabbitohs, so they're going to put themselves into a great attacking area. All right, let's delete this. They should take the 2 here, Cooper Cronk reckons. Is that the Storm when you're saying that, Cooper? There's 26 minutes. To be fair, yeah, no, I might actually agree with him. You take time off the clock with the man in the bin. I forgot about that. Too distracted by trying to sort this score shit out. So he's going to go and report there for the Storm. So there you go. There's the live score up again. At least this is a better game than the last 2. And they aren't going for the 2. Daz, mate, don't worry, Sam. The Reds are getting 80 past them next week. Go to Fiji and Drua, mate. Go to Fiji and Drua. So 3 metres out. Now you can't bite back at that one, can you, Daz? All right, so the Rabbitohs, their second tackle, 10 metres away. Down a man. They can score against Melbourne. In Melbourne, down a man. Really amazing stuff. Rabbitohs 4 metres away from the line. 8 weeks will be 1 less than Mam. Mam deserved a lot longer than 8 weeks. Or 9 weeks, whatever it is. Lucky he's in the game still. 6 again now for the Rabbitohs. 1 metre away. Back from my trip watching the Blues get embarrassed by the Reds. I thought that Olivia said that the game was still going. And 6 again. Oh, you're not at the game. You went into... Okay, I get what you're saying. You went and watched it. So first tackle here for the Rabbitohs, and they're 13, 10 metres away. Kolomatangi. All good. Auckland have set. No one cares. Second tackle. Gives it to Mawali. Jaden Sullivan. Jai Gray. Good pass, but they'll be taken down. His eye taps at the 10. Third tackle. Campbell Graham. He'll go for a bit of a run himself. And it'll be 5 metres out. Fourth tackle. Go over the field goal. Mamazelis. Short ball. No one. I don't know what Sullivan's doing there. Sullivan caught that ball so close to the line that it really nullified him having any attack and play. That was his fault, though. Jack Whiten is going to edge this one across to the left-hand side. Knocked back for the Rabbitohs. And knock on, they say. Knock on there from the Rabbitohs, so it's going to be Storm ball. Storm ball. Of course, the Reds are beating the Blues. What is happening? Waratahs have become quite good to watch as well. Fiji drew the greatest team that ever existed, mate. Greatest team possibly that has ever existed in the history of ever existed. Mitchell with 2.5 minutes left here of the bin. 22.5 minutes. And 2.5 minutes left for Trell. And penalty to the Storm. Damn, my brain is like really not working right now. It's like just tuning out. It's like this, just looking over here. I guess it was that second game is what killed you. The first game you can tolerate. Second game where it was just so slow, but the Warriors are nice. I think that's what kills you. And then going into this third game, at least it's a close one, but like overall, it's still not like insane. All right, so Jerome Hughes now, especially when the favourites winning by 8 points as well, and with a man advantage. Chief up the top. Well, Chiefs are the team that I'd get around if I was getting around a New Zealand team. I always have because their involvement over the years in Fiji. I've always loved that. 6 again here for the Storm. So they're going to be first tackle, 35 metres away from the Rabbitohs line. They score here and convert. It's pretty much game over. But yeah, I'd get around the Chiefs before anybody else. Just because of their involvement in Fiji over the years. Mam deserves a lifetime ban. No, I agree. But then again, Matt Lodge also did too. Ryan Bubbenhausen, right-hand side. Storm score on the wing. And, oh, no, maybe not. Meany doesn't look confident. Meany does not look confident. I think he's knocked this ball off. I think he's knocked this ball on. And Bellamy has just stood up and he's fuming. I don't know. Oh, so it's Grant Anderson, not Nick Meany. Grant Anderson, I think, has knocked this ball on. Anderson, yep, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Jai Gray, nice defense. Nice defense, Jai Gray. Yeah, I don't know how the Storm just don't blow them out here. There's more Wrexham fans than Auckland FC fans. Definitely. There is definitely more Wrexham fans than Auckland FC fans. There was more Wrexham fans before the, what's it called? Before Ryan Reynolds and whatnot. I bought them. Fiji could be such a good rugby team if they could get some discipline. Yep. But that, unfortunately, just does not happen. Have I seen a Rabbitohs jersey in India yet? No, but I have a Titans jersey, so that will be more random than a Rabbitohs jersey. I have my Titans jersey here. Third tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 42. 20 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. 20 minutes to go. The Rabbitohs are trying to complain about a crusher here. Peter Mamazelis is complaining about a crusher. Latrell Mitchell's about to come back on the field. It's going to be a New Zealand Grand Final 2025. What, the Super Rugby? Well, that always is the New Zealand Grand Final. If you're talking about Rugby League, I don't have the Wires making the Grand Final. But there's a long way to go. There are a couple of Rabbitohs shirts at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's like, I did see that. I did see that. But that's a big sporting event in a big country that Australians go to. Australians don't really come here. If I saw a guy in a Rabbitohs jersey, I would take a photo with him and put it on my Instagram. So, fourth tackle now at the 45. And Tavita Totola will get this to the 45. Peter Mumbles-Ellis. Jack Whiten. He's playing like a 6 kicking game here. Have they moved? Oh, it's a knock on. It's a knock on. So it's going to be Rabbitohs ball here at the 10. Oh, penalty Melbourne. Don't worry. Okay, Skunkle, you need help. That's what you need. You need serious help, mate. You need some serious help, buddy. You need some serious help, mate. Deary me. I'll be shocked if we make the grand final with this halves pairing we got at the moment. Got to get Tanner Boyd in, man. Got to get Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd's the greatest that ever did exist. Tanner Boyd does not miss. Tanner Boyd does not miss. Has never missed in his life. So second tackle now at the 40. Yikes. Oh, dearie me. I have absolutely no idea who he's even referring to, too, because I don't really watch wrestling. Oh, wait. So there was... Kane Bradley comes into the game because there was a foul play. Because it was foul play. Suafalongo fouled HIA. They're now able to bring Kane Bradley on, so they're not down a man. Storm now at the 25. Also, Rabbitohs have Latrell Mitchell back. It says, just had to rewatch that Stewart vs. Blair biff. I care about players' health and all, but I'd love something that like that again. Well, if you care about players' health, then you should love that because neither one of them could land a punch to save their life. Eliza won't be happy with that comment. Eliza will not be happy with that comment there, Mitchell. You're right. Skunkle's out of line. But it's a penalty to the Rabbitohs. Eliza will be fuming. Maybe Jag as well. Google check has given Sam a pass. So penalty to the Rabbitohs. Okay, I'm going to go have a look at this person. I don't know if it's given him a pass, because it's still weird, but I'll have a look. Yeah, she's very attractive, to be fair. But you're also still weird, Sam. You're also still extremely weird. Alright, so Rabbitohs now at the 45. I love how they keep cutting to Bellamy. Yeah, they're really looking for something. To Jai Gray at the 45 on Storm side. Jack Whiten steps inside and he'll be at the 30. Third tackle. Jai Gray goes out to the right. Kalomatangi, fourth tackle. They're in this game still. As long as they don't concede a converted try next, they're still in this game here, Rabbits. Jai Arrow. Latrell Mitchell throws the ball down to the wing. Fourth tackle. Campbell Graham, he'll be 7 metres out. And see Lucas back to talking about Thailand lady boys. Lucas back to talking about lady boys. Papanhausen gets these away. Papanhausen, gets taken out of the 10. He was so close. There was such a big gap there, but unfortunately just didn't have enough speed early doors. Big hit there from the Rabbitohs. They have a prawn. Skunkle, Lucas was talking to us about like how he enjoyed lady boys and stuff before, so you got to be careful about, listening to too much of what he has to say. Jan5 Mason, this is definitely better than last year's ANZAC Day game when Storm put 50 on the Rabbits. Yeah, Storm put 50 on the Rabbits and put 70 on the Warriors the year before. The one time I didn't like a biff was when Fecky got punched by White, and I can't remember that. Oh, so fifth tackle now, and they give up here to Jerome Hughes. 2015. Yeah, it wasn't really that memorable. One of the better ones was Rabbitohs Roosters' Braithen Nasta getting whacked. And then he got penalised for it. Braithen Nasta got absolutely smacked by one of the Rabbitohs players, I can't remember. And then he got penalised for the whole situation too. It was so funny. Lucas probably has Lizzo posters in his room. Lizzo? Is there a thing I'm missing out on? No such thing as a bad punch on. If it's a Titans player losing, then yeah, it's a bad punch on. If Queensland's losing the fight, then it's a bad punch on for sure. That's a knock on from the Rabbitohs and the Storm ball here at the 40. No, they said strip. That's... What? How is it still fourth tackle? How does that still be fourth tackle? The ball came forward 5 to 10 metres just then. So if it's a strip, that's a 6 again. I don't know. I need to go back and have a look at that. Otherwise, I'm going to freak out the whole stream. Xavier Coates gets to the 15. All right, I'm going to have a look at this. Gags says Burt was a great punch on. Yeah, big old Tino. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's bound. He's throwing it backwards, and then it bounced off a player who didn't play it. No, I was wrong. That's why I had to go check it. No, it's actually the right call. I still would say a lot of the time that'll be called knock on from the Rabbitohs. Fourth tackle, took him on. Jerome Hughes, Pappenhausen. They got numbers. Katoa. That's Nick Meaney. Try time for the Storm. Tyron Wishart. Try time for the Storm. Tyron Wishart. And that, my friends, should probably be in the ball game. That should probably be in the ball game. Never seen a more hurt fan base than the Dogs after that, Biff. I know. Tino still gets it. He still cops it. That was like 3 years ago. That, my friends, is probably... I thought there's a question on the pass too, Sundo, but I think it's alright. I thought there was a question on it. He passes at the 10. Oh, I think that's momentum. I think he's passing that ball backwards, yeah. Like, that realistically should be... If they throw this game away from here, then the Storm are done for the season. Because they gave up a 16-2 lead to the Dolphins, and then with 14 minutes to go, if they give up a 14-point lead, they give up. They give up. Melbourne Storm are not the Melbourne Storm anymore. It's actually a good pass considering. It's actually a really good pass considering. It's like it's contentious for sure. I like the commentary saying, but I think that it's not too bad. It's not bad. 16 career tries for Darren Wishart. People were even wrongfully saying soul stick stuff. Some stick stuff about his kid. Who, Tino? Tino got really bad stuff. Yeah, T got really bad stuff. Why didn't he consider my supercoach and pass it to Katoa? So, Blake, he actually was thinking about your supercoach at the time and was like, no, screw him. He actually thought that in his head. Makes sense, too. Like, I get it. I get why you would. So, Ryan Pappenhausen here has scored 72 points this season. Let's make that 74. Let's make that 74. Yes? Okay, you did get it. That is 8 points more than the Newcastle Knights have scored this season. Birdo started the whole thing anyway. Birdo's a cat. Birdo's a cat. It's funny, right? Because like I've spoken, I know more about the situation than the general public does, and I said this after what happened when I spoke to T, and like it is just such an overblown situation. Like Birdo and him have no problems with each other whatsoever, and they never did. Like it's on the footy field, and they never did. And also, Tino was actually trying to separate it. He did kind of go about it the wrong way, but it's hilarious that Bulldogs fans think that they despise each other and Birdo and T hate each other. I could promise you, it is so far from the truth, it's not funny. But Dane Gagai whooped that cat. Gagai's Insta comment section was like a Telegram live chat. To Gagai, I haven't spoken to Dane, and I haven't spoken to Matt, but I have spoken to T, so I can't speak on Gagai's side. But he would have copped it, yeah. But Dane Gagai flogged him anyway, so that's what you get for not having Sean Bloor. So, fourth tackle now for the Storm at the 45. And Munster kicks it down into the corner. This game is pretty much over. They're booing Trell for the high contact. Jared says, as they say, what happens on the field stays on the field. Yeah, there are some plays that doesn't apply to. There are some players. I know a few from last year specifically that really do not like each other based off of on-field stuff. I'm not going to publicly out that, though. Logan Ballsack says, I bet Burton wasn't even thinking about Tino in that fight. He wasn't. he just simply wasn't. Oh, okay. This is just frozen. Okay, it's back now. And now they'll be at the 50 is Itas. Yeah, Matt Burton and T have absolutely no hate towards each other. They're quite literally mates. The GOAT Matt Burton says the same thing as Tino about the whole thing. I know, because that's the truth. But I remember when he was last year at Belmore, he was brutalised on his Instagram and everywhere. If it's tackled, they kick it across here from Jack Whiten. No, it's a knock on. That's a knock on. It's like WWE in a sense where people are invested in the storyline, but this is a lot more obviously real. And people will jump in and aggressively defend their player, especially for like the Dogs, and like talk about the R word, talk about the M, like MUR, and send these kind of messages to players and to people and whatnot. Even as a content creator myself, I've copped that kind of shit. Like after the Cowboys game last year, you guys would have seen on Instagram. It's brutal the way that people message and talk and think it's acceptable, man. A lot of people just do it because of gambling, though. 10 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. What did Latrell do this time? I missed it. Robbo, he breathed. No, it was a big like shoulder into the head of Suola'au Fa'alogo. So, yeah, he got binned. Lucas says Burden was getting done so bad he probably can't remember the events. Very cool. Lager says legit played World Cup with each other same year. Correct. So fit tackle now for the Storm. Will Kane Bradley be happy? Because at least he gets a bit of a crack. And the Rabbitohs bring it out to the 25. Get around here, Anthony. To be fair, it's kind of hard not to take getting punched personal. Sort of. Not in this context. In public, yes. Like out here, in public, sure. In the game, it's not personal. Because it is real a majority of the time. It's not personal. In the game, it's just high-flared emotions. And it's your job, and it's your career on the line, and you're trying to win, and you've got a lot of pressure on you and stuff like that. In the game, anything that happens in the game does not translate necessarily to out the game. Unless, and the only issue that there's one that I know specifically in NRL, is when there's a specific player who is consistently doing, oh, here we go, Rabbitohs left-hand side, they're away, try grab the top, taken out. He's been taken out. For me, that's a penalty. Yep, it's a penalty. And that's a bin for mine. As a penalty, it should be a bin. It's a penalty, it should be a bin. I don't understand how that wouldn't be a bin. If Jai Gray has the ability to get around him there, then maybe he can try. If you challenge this Storm, it's probably going to end up in a bin, so I wouldn't. They're going to challenge this, and they might see a bin because of it. Tanner didn't punch Burton, though. No, he didn't. I don't know why the Storm would challenge this, man. If the Rabbits can score here, they have a very minuscule opportunity. There's no way he wins this. This is a bin. I don't know why they challenged this. It's going to change from just a penalty to a bin. Even though Burton got swept by Gags, he's doing better in footy life than Gagai. Well, let's relax. Gagai's a lot older than him and has a much more successful career than him throughout his history. But sure, like now, yes. Now, I would agree. Yeah, it's a professional foul. See, I told you, them challenging this was always going to turn into a bin. Them challenging this was always going to turn into a bin. It made no sense that they challenged it. No, I mean just in general. Challenge successfully, you are now in the bin. Well, they're actually, it's still unsuccessful because they challenged that it wasn't a takeout and he did take him out. So Papa Nelson will go to the bin. It's a correct call too. Might be the worst challenge ever he gets binned. We called it here though. Like we knew what was going to happen. We knew what was going to happen. Like, Craig Bellamy's so angry. It was Gagai that hit Burton. If he's got anything against someone, it's towards Gagai, not Tino. Yeah, he doesn't even have anything against. He wouldn't have anything against Dane either. Thought there was some chance the Bunnies would play better than this in the second half. Sure, but they have never won in Melbourne. Across 19 games, so add 20 to the list. But if the Rabbitohs can score here, maybe we might be on. Sean Kepi, 8 metres away from the line. First tackle. First tackle off to Tavita Totola. And Tavita Totola is 2 metres away now from the line. Second tackle. They give it out. Sullivan. Oh, if they kicked it into the corner there, that would have actually been a try. You have to score right now, though, South Sydney. And that's awful. Yeah, he's dropped the ball, and this is going to be a knock on him. The Rabbitohs, the Storm will get the ball here and offload it, and they'll get this ball out to the 15. So that, my friends, unfortunately, will mean the Rabbitohs probably lose this now. I reckon Burton would whoop Gagai now. I reckon you are a Dogs fan, so your opinion doesn't really matter. Your opinion in this situation doesn't really matter. Because you're always going to back Burton, just like I'm always going to back Tino, and just like a Knights fan, Brent Neslick, or another Knights fan here is going to back Gagai. So your opinion doesn't really matter in this situation. All right, so fit tackle now for the Storm at the 50. We need Mullet Arrow back. That man was a dangerous man. Thanks for the stream, sir. See you tomorrow. Appreciate you, Lucas. I'm like falling asleep as it is. It's 9:53 right for you guys, but it's only 5:23 over here. But 3 streams takes it out of you. First tackle, offload. There's going to be a knock on there from the Storm, so it's going to be a refresh set. 0 tackle at the 35. This is the first time in the Melbourne Storm history they've had sellout games back-to-back, despite all their success. Let that sink in. Out of the left, Jack Whiten will knock the ball on. 1 p.m. here? Oh, are you in England, Noah? Are you UK? Any crazy biffs that you've been live for? Not really. I might have been. There was a bit of a biff out of Titans game against the Warriors a few years ago at Seabus, but it was only crazy because it was right in front of me kind of deal, but not really. Warrington, there you go. Who's doing well in the Super League this year? So Storm are going to win this. We've just got a few minutes left here of the game. 6 minutes left. It's 14 points. Super League table. It's going to be like Hull, that seems like a different team. Wigan are in second. The Lead Leopards are third. St. Helens are in fifth. Warrington in seventh. Hull seem like they're a different team to be up there in first. Are they usually up there at the top of the table? That seems like they're a different team. And I don't know anything really about Super League, but they're going to say it's backwards there from the Storm. I think I remember that biff. Is that the one Titans won 44-0? Oh, geez, the power's gone out again, dude. But at least I'm using my Wi-Fi internet, so it's fine. Fit tackle now. Fit tackle. At least you can kind of see me this time rather than when it was dark before. And it's going to be Jerome. Oh, it's Nick Me. I get confused with the two headgears. Hull KR got to the grand final last season. Yeah, but isn't this like a new team? Usually it's like not Leeds. Usually it's like St. Helens, Warrington, Wigan, and somebody else. But Warrington never win. It's usually Wigan and St. Helens. I swear there's like usually 4 teams that are very consistently at the top of the table. Anyway, no, it's not the Titans won 44-0. We won no, it was like 2022. 2021 is when we won 44-0. 2022 or 2023, one of the two. No, it's 2022 early on in the season. So 4th tackle. Even the power is sick of this game. Yep, makes sense. Leeds Rhinos. I don't think the Leeds Rhinos are that good. I haven't seen them be good. But then again, I don't know shit about Super League. Campbell Graham. The only thing I know about Super League players is the ones that play for England in the World Cup or for Scotland or Ireland and whatnot. Normally Wigan, Saints or Leeds, yeah. Oh, so it is Leeds. 6 again for the Rabbitohs. They're 35 out. 4 minutes. Google. So it is Leeds. How are they doing? Oh, they're not even in the top 5. Yeah, 6th. There you go. 2nd tackle now for the Rabbitohs at 15. I have no Super League team. I couldn't watch at that time. The time for us is at awful times, like 11-1-3. Rabbitohs, short play. Wow, good defense on the line. 4th tackle. If I was to get behind a team, I don't know. Maybe that really, really bad team, Newcastle Thunder or something, whatever it is. 4th tackle for the Rabbitohs. They're 3 metres away. Super League is better standard. Jack, for the love of God, I beg that you're not trying to tell me that the Super League is a better standard than the NRL. I beg that you're not saying something that ridiculous. Or are you just saying that the Super League is better standard than it has been in the past? For the love of God, I beg that you're not saying such a ridiculous comment. Out to the left-hand side, and the Rabbitohs will score. Jack Whiten makes it 24-14 here with the kick to come. 3 minutes to go. Jack says I'm joking. I was saying it, but kidding. Bro, I'm so tired right now after nearly 3 games now. If you were saying that Super League is better standard, I think I would have just ended the stream right now. 3 minutes ago, I would have just gone. I'm so tired. So, did they have a technical chance, the Rabbitohs? Sure, they're not going to, though. Storm still the man to bin, obviously. He's a London Broncos fan because he's also a Chelsea fan. All right, you're getting timed out. Yeah, you're getting a minute timeout, Daz. You're definitely getting a minute timeout. Seven says Magic Round Saturday. So it's 24-16, so 8-point game here. 3 minutes to go, 8-point game. 8-point game. I actually look like right now that I'm in, I look like I'm in Australia with it being nighttime. But it's not even nighttime for like 2 hours here. Sunset for us is like 7 o'clock. Game went from so high to so mild so quickly. Yeah, like it was kind of like good, but it wasn't fantastic the first half. But it was better than the first 2 games, which is why we kind of looked at it in a better light. The first half was still, like it was 10-10, but it was still something missing from it. The second half obviously has become what it is. But the Rabbitohs, they score now. If they get one more try now, they still have a chance. I love watching a replay with the 50th time over the conversion. Yeah, it's brilliant. So Rabbitohs next 5 is Knights, Broncos, Tigers, and Warriors. Well, they'll be very happy with their next 3 games, specifically the Knights and Tigers. Anyone playing the Knights right now should be super happy. Anyone playing Newcastle should be extremely happy. So the Rabbitohs now 3rd tackle. Game went. I get behind St. Helens merely because Benny Barber played for them, but I don't watch it. St. Helens much so. I wouldn't exactly call myself a hardcore fan. Yeah, I have no idea. Jack Whiten to Jai Gray. Jai Gray like playing wing today all day today. That's a penalty. The Rabbitohs, you got to be quick. You got to be real quick here, Rabbitohs. There's a man in the bench. Latrell, kick the ball. Oh, the referee's telling to wait. Damn, so Rabbitohs have a chance right now. So is Adam O'Brien and Smokey to be coached? He's not Smokey. He should be sacked. He should have been sacked 3 years ago. All right, so a minute 50 to go here, 35 minutes away. I was saying Adam O'Brien should be still sacked when he was on that 10-game win streak with the Knights. All right, here we go. Rabbitohs, you have to score on this set. If you want a chance, they get the ball back. Latrell to Isaiah Tass. 5 metres away from the line. 2nd tackle. Minute 28 to go. Storm still have a man in the bin. Still a man in the bin. Rabbitohs get that ball across. It hits the grass. Rabbitohs flick it quickly. Knock on. Game over. Knock on. Game over. Gal says go Storms. Unfortunately, Storm only has 1 S in it, not 2. So you did Storm with that 1. But the Storm are going to win this game. They are going to win this game. On your bomby boy. For the English in the chat, though, you looking forward to the Ashes streams this year? You looking forward to the Ashes streams later on this year? Storm next 5 is the Raiders, the Tigers, the Sharks, the Bye, and then the Titans. Wow, their first 4 games are super easy, but that 5th game is so difficult. That 5th game, I don't think it's possible that they win. I'm actually terrified with the Melbourne Storm. Ben Barber is the only player to win a Dally M and Man of Steel in the Super League era. Yeah, that's a good point. When did that start with people calling Storm the Storms? Well, you've just been timed out, Jared. Yep, thank you, Jay. You just get timed out. We'll see it. We'll see probably tomorrow, actually, because the game's about to finish. But it's because every team has a plural. Titans, Warriors, Broncos, Cowboys, Dolphins, Tigers, Sharks, Sea Eagles, Knights, Panthers, Eels, Roosters, Rabbitohs. Storm. There's no Storms. So that's where the confusion comes from. But it's just a joke on the channel, and you've just found out. So there we go, guys. Full time. The Melbourne Storm will win 24-16. Rabbitohs gave it a crack. They will lose by 8 points, which puts the Rabbitohs now into... they will actually go below the Cowboys. So the Cowboys will jump into the top 8 for now. The Rabbitohs will go to minus 44. And that means now if the Dolphins win on Sunday, they go above them. If Manly win tomorrow, they go above them. If Tigers win, they will go above them. And if the Titans win by 1, both the Cowboys and the Titans, because the Titans play the Cowboys tomorrow, if the Titans were to win by like less than 2 to 4 points, both the Titans and Cowboys would be above the Rabbitohs, which is interesting. Roosters have already played, and then you've got the Knights, who would have to win by an absolute mozza to go above. The Knights lost because they're awful. Whilst on the other hand, the Melbourne Storm, they will go back into second position. The Warriors will drop down into third position, and the Broncos will be in fourth. The only thing that can change that top 4 this week is if the Raiders win. Outside of that, it's pretty much solidified for the most part, but the Storm will go into second. But there we go, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. That's how tight I am. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'm going to go chill out, have a nice little drink, watch the beautiful sunset here in Udaipur. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Titans Cowboys at the Panthers versus Manly. Appreciate you guys as usual. Hope you had a great ANZAC day. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya. See you later. Yeah, you're right, Paul. You are right.